Dreadnot Assault mode has been found. All right, if you've never heard of this mode, I'm pretty sure this is a PvP mode that centers around somebody being in a Dreadnot. Now, I did see clips before of Space Marine 1, and it did look pretty weird, I have to admit, but I honestly don't really know what I was looking at completely. However, any new PvP mode, hey, that's fine with me. Honestly, when they mentioned a new PvP mode, when the roadmap launched, I do think this mode was basically pushed back a bit, and I think it's fine. Ultimately, from what content we've seen from the past couple patches, I think if they kind of shoehorned in a PvP mode, it would have kind of been overshadowed a bit by Siege mode. But regardless, this is definitely a new mode, and I'm 100% interested in playing the Dreadnot Assault mode, but however, I'm noticing PLR Chaos Alternative, so potentially there's a way to play Chaos in this. Potentially. We will see. Max players count 12, max team size 6. So okay. So what I'm actually getting from this is 6v6. Maybe one player on the team turns into a Dreadnot, and then we kind of fight from there. Regardless, I'm super excited for this, 100%. That's why there's a Chaos Alternative, because one of these teams are Chaos. Yeah, that makes sense. Now let's hope we get to see a Dreadnot 1v1 soon. Yes? Dreadnot 1v1? That's pretty wild. Okay, so I'm actually going to go into the comments, but first, I want to throw a little question at you guys, because I've noticed somebody actually wrote they wrote an article on this mode, and for whatever reason, it was not a good one. So yeah, we're gonna take a quick look at it. I'm not going to, read the entire article or anything. I honestly just want to read the headline and then throw that at you guys to see what you guys think about it. Bringing Dreadnot Assault back in Space Marine 2 might seem like a fan favorite, but reviving a mode that already failed before is risky and could go wrong without careful handling. Data mines from the latest patches show signs Saber Interactive is planning to include the mode in PvP. If players recall Space Marine 1, the name definitely stands out, but not in a great way. Why did players abandon Dreadnot Assault so quickly? The concept had potential, but most players were frustrated by its flawed balance. Okay, so this is all about Space Marine 1. So I have to admit, in Space Marine 2, this can potentially be improved. But yeah, basically what they're arguing in this article is to say Space Marine 1 had a pretty bad Dreadnot PvP mode. Why are they bringing it back? Kind of an interesting article for sure. But yeah, here's the thing about articles. There's just so many ads on this thing. I don't want to, spam any ads. But okay, I'll read at least right here. In its original form, Dreadnot Assault was a daring experiment that let a single team take control of a massive high-powered Dreadnot unit to change multiplayer dynamics. Okay, so single team takes control of a Dreadnot. Interesting. Wait, hold on. It should be Dreadnot versus Dreadnot, right? Not just one team with the Dreadnot. That's kind of wild. Whoever brought out the Dreadnot first often overwhelmed the opposing team without much trouble. Only one random player got to pilot the Dreadnot, so most of the time everyone else was just waiting and feeling left out. Okay. They actually kind of have a good point here, if that's pretty much what this mode is about. I don't like the randomness. I don't like random teams being a Dreadnot, or a random player be a Dreadnot, and then, yeah, I don't know. That definitely sounds pretty weird. It does sound fun. I'll say that much. And it's definitely something I want to jump in. But this article definitely has a interesting perspective on what Space Marine 2's Dreadnot could be, in the sense that they are just immediately, copy and paste in Space Marine 1 Dreadnot into Space Marine 2. I would actually, have a little bit more. I would definitely, as far as the devs are concerned, I would think the devs would improve the mode from Space Marine 1. I would hope. Heck yes. Thank you. We finally got some confirmation on this. I was desperately hoping to hear about this while randos argued about whether it was even being worked on or planned to be implemented. I wonder if we'll be able to customize them in any way, and whether they'll add a Dreadnot op/control section in a map once they have a system for playing as one. See, that's definitely a good, good point, is when they add in these new modes like Siege mode or new Dreadnot mode, I mean, they definitely can adjust things. You know, they can patch in a different version of the mode. They can patch in a new mechanic or something. But yeah, ultimately more content for this game is good. I'm definitely surprised to see that the Space Marine 1 Dreadnought mode was a little bit controversial. But from what I'm reading, it seems like a lot of people are actually excited for it. So I don't know. Maybe it's unbalanced, but maybe it's just chaotic fun. Wasn't this mode adding a Dreadnought in Space Marine 1 the final nail that killed the game? I'm hoping it stays an NPC. All right, so I guess maybe we do have a bit of a mixed reaction. Now, again, I haven't played Space Marine 1. I haven't played Dreadnought mode in Space Marine 1. I'm not too sure what everyone is, expecting for this. But yeah, as far as what I've seen, 6v6, I don't like the idea of somebody randomly becoming a Dreadnought, you know what I mean? I would hope that Dreadnought is something you unlock. However, at the same time, it's definitely interesting, as the article kind of mentioned, that whoever ends up unlocking the Dreadnought first kind of just steamrolls. I mean, to be completely honest, it doesn't sound too much different of what we have in PvP right now, where whichever team has a lever first, they just lose. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I would hope this isn't the thing that is a final nail in the coffin for Space Marine 1. I don't know, man. If this mode really did kill Space Marine 1, I have a hard time thinking that people, Space Marine 1 was in a good spot to begin with, because I have a hard time imagining that if Space Marine 2 had a new PvP mode, people would just stop playing Siege mode. That doesn't make any sense, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is definitely an interesting perspective. Apparently in Space Marine 1, the Dreadnought PvP mode did not do well. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comments if you guys played Space Marine 1 and played the new Dreadnought or the old Dreadnought mode. If you have any good ideas to improve the Dreadnought PvP mode in Space Marine 2, I think that could definitely go a long way, especially if you put them in the Saber forums, because yeah, obviously this has been leaked, and obviously if the devs never, as far as I know, the devs never said anything about leaks and if they had an issue with leaks or anything like that. So I mean, honestly, it'd be kind of it does feel easy to ask them, like, hey, is there any differences between Space Marine 1 and Space Marine 2 Dreadnought mode? Did you make any improvements? Because yeah, I mean, it would be kind of disappointing if the devs kind of saw the old Dreadnought PvP mode and just copy and pasted it. I would like to see some sort of improvements, considering that I am hearing mixed things about it. So I mean, honestly, yeah, it's not like that article went into detail on why people didn't like it or anything, outside of the unbalanced nature of it, which is, per the course, apparently, for this game when it comes to PvP. But again, a lot of PvP unbalanced nature, it's like, you'll start a game 6v6, and maybe the other team gets like a 50-point head start or something because they just won one objective, like they just, they took over the first objective, and then you just have someone on your team leave, and then you don't have a chance. So that's the frustrating nature of PvP, and I hope if they add in a new mode, they would add in a leaderboard or something just to give people incentive to stay through the game. I don't know. Levers are kind of what really ruins PvP.